Meeting come to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the Village Board meeting of April 22nd, 2024. Roll call, please.
Kraus.
Here.
Gardner.
Here.
Stacy.
Yes.
Terry.
Here.
Giannetti.
In your packet, you have minutes from the April 8th meeting. Does anyone have any changes or additions? If not, can we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call.
Kraus.
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Does anyone from the audience wish to address the board?
My name is Wendy Hoekstra. I live on Elm Street, west of Catalpa Street. It's the side of the street that goes towards the creek and dead ends there. I'm here to just request some attention be brought to the street. Both sides of the road are deteriorating, falling away, in heavy rains. The rain runs down the road in like a trough, takes the road with it, and the culverts are backing up with stones, pea gravel, things like that. The road is very narrow. When I try to back out of my driveway, if there's anybody parked on the other side of the street, I can almost hit them because I don't have enough room to back up. It's not wide enough for two cars to drive down side by side. You're either driving into somebody's yard or pulling into somebody's driveway to allow them to pass on the other side of you. It's gradually gotten worse over the years. I know there's been some patchwork done towards the creek side of it. That part of the road is also breaking up again. I know the garbage trucks go down just like any other road, but it just seems that the road is deteriorating away on the sides towards the top of the street, and towards the end it's breaking away. So I just ask that somebody draw some attention to it and hopefully get some attention sooner than later.
Yep, and we've got budget that we're hearing later, and we basically, we get a budget amount for roads for the year, and then they sit down and kind of go according to severity, and they kind of deal with what has to be done in what order, but we'll definitely get you on the rotation.
Okay,
So
I
I
appreciate
don't know exactly when yet, because we haven't gone through the budget, but,
Sure.
thank you for bringing it to our
Appreciate it.
attention.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. And you don't have to stay for the.
That's okay, I'll stay for a little. Thank you though.
All right. Usually people are happy to just get out once they're done, so.
That's the first, let's stay.
I know. All right, so before we go any further, there is a proclamation for Professional Municipal Clerks Week. 55th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, May 5th through 11th, 2024. And here the whereases begin. Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk is among the oldest of public servants, whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all, whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk. Now therefore, I, Marcy Meyer, Village President of the Village of Beecher, Will County, Illinois, do recognize the week of May 5th through 11th, 2024 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Jeanette McCauley, and our professional municipal deputy clerk, Patty Meyer, to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent.
Thank you,
I will sign that invitation. If I had to say professional municipal clerk. All right, under my report, besides that, I'm gonna start with the application from the Huddle for a block party on Gould Street. And I know you guys put in an application with the chief, I believe, and, you know, we weren't sure of like all the details, exactly what you guys wanna do, so, you know, if you wanna explain what you're doing.
Basically, we just wanted to get, you know, the whole idea is just to get a little more foot traffic over there for a day. We don't wanna do nothing crazy, not even taking the whole street. We wanna go just from the property line between Gold Vault and the park. So we had basically the edge of me down to the town of Penfield at the stop sign there. Phil said he couldn't make it tonight, he would like to be here, but, so Phil wanted to donate, he could offer bounce houses for the kids. We have talked to right now 3 food trucks with a 4th or 5th possibly in motion. We do have some entertainment lined up, and basically just get some people out to Gold Street to walk and visit Gold Vault, Sit and Bull, and especially the Huddle, because they got the new golf simulators over there, and Sit and Bull and myself have both kind of partnered with Phil, or with Sean serving food to his customers, so we really like to try to get that place fired up over there. So yeah, it's like basically just, we want people to come out and just socialize for an afternoon, maybe put some boards out, play some bags, and listen to music, and hopefully visit all 3 businesses and see what we have.
Okay. Were you asking to have liquor outdoors?
We were.
Okay. So that's gonna require some barricading and, you know, that's
Correct,
probably
correct.
the prime consideration for that, police presence.
Right, yeah, we understand that, yeah, for sure.
Anybody have comments about that or preferences?
We discussed this last meeting, didn't we?
Pardon?
Did we discuss this last meeting, or was that? No.
Oh,
That was the burnout. That's right.
That was the burnout, yeah.
Yeah,
This is
not gonna do nothing crazy like that.
Yeah,
No, but I mean,
Just,
yeah, this is May 11th, right?
something
Correct, yeah, we just wanted, to, you know, like I said, we had, looking to try to get a band out there. Phil offered to put up his music equipment and just play some music for a couple hours to fill a little bit of the gap, you know. And just get people to hang out and kind of walk and check us all 3 out, you know.
What's
the hours?
In the hours, yeah.
I think we put on there 2 to 8, I wanna say, I don't have a copy of the application.
So the band would stop at 8 then?
Yeah.
I think you made it later.
Was it later? I know we gave time for like an extra hour for tear down time. It was 2 to 8 or 2 to 9, roughly, it's like something like that. But then I think we had total street downtime. We added an extra hour on there so the food trucks can break down and get cleared out, you know.
Alright. So any comments like police stuff? Because barricades, as far as serving outside, it just has to be, we have to be sure as far as carding and making sure people aren't taking it beyond this area and just roaming around with open liquor, you know, that's
Right.
probably the,
I'd say with it being open and being the whole block, we would probably have to have a couple extra police officers there.
okay.
And that would probably go to, I mean, we charge the commission and stuff, and we've been talking about different things. I know with like the Lions Club, whenever they're gonna have functions, but with it being open alcohol and roaming through the whole block, I would think that'd be a big concern.
How many
Are you
people
having
do you
wristbands?
anticipate? How many people do you anticipate?
We got the commentator from the Blackhawks coming out, so I'm hoping a couple hundred people if we can get them. We're advertising, once we get permission, of course.
One police officer. And then we'll have the duty guys stop by. That'd be okay with you guys? If you-
Oh, yeah.
If you had to pay for a police officer?
Yeah.
Okay. We can get into that later. Anybody have any objections? No? Okay,
Cool.
sounds good, yep. And we'll talk to you about as far as like what the police officer will entail, like, paying for that. And then, are you guys gonna be barricading the streets? Are you wanting?
We can provide, and I don't have like concrete type barriers, but I can provide cones,
Well,
I don't know
the food
what-
trucks,
well, and Sean had a good point, he wanted to use at either end, one of the food trucks to like kind of cross the street
Block it off.
and to block off at either end, so at least one food vendor would face inwards at either end too.
Okay,
And I can, like I said, I could have set up
we
cones
can get
around that.
barricades. I could do barricades.
okay.
Yeah, if it's just basic construction barricades, we
Yeah,
can handle that.
even just, horses or.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that kind of, I don't have the
Yeah,
equipment.
You
no,
guys
we
have
don't
like
need, we don't need concrete or anything like
Did
that.
you do like a plot as to where you're gonna have everything set up and put that in the application, or?
Like an actual drawing layout? No, I did
just
not do
drawing
like a
it
drawing,
laid
no.
out?
I could write one up this afternoon and,
Maybe we'll have a meeting beforehand, with the chief, this way we can see exactly what the layout's gonna be.
Yeah.
How it's gonna be, and this way we can improve it.
yeah, I can
Yeah,
draw that
that's
up.
good. And then he can have a look at it too, to figure out, you know, if one officer's enough, you know, based on the
Yeah,
layout.
you might have to readjust that.
Yeah.
Looks like you're gonna get more people coming.
Yeah, okay, yeah, if you could come up with some kind of a drawing, something like that, and if the exact hours are on the application, we can look at that. Otherwise,
Yeah, they're
we
just
can
like
do
that,
that. Okay,
yeah.
all right, and then if we have any other questions, you know, please call me back again.
Cool,
Okay.
sounds good,
All
thank you guys.
All
Have
right,
a good one.
thanks.
Have a good day.
All right, next. Consideration of a liquor license application for a breakfast and lunch restaurant to be located on Indiana Avenue, and that is you two. So, did you want to give us an idea? I know we have some information here in the packet, but, you know, give us an idea of what the plan is, what you want to do.
So we are looking into having the business open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. That'll be like a brunch, breakfast, serving cocktails such as mimosas, martinis, stuff like that. And then closing up for about an hour and then opening up for the evening. We're planning on having a smaller menu, more like appetizers, tacos, margarita.
Okay, for dinner?
For dinner, yeah.
Okay, so you are going to be open for
Yes.
dinner too?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're looking to having both options open as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know about how many, you know, what your occupancy is, about how many customers you're planning to try to get in there?
We don't have an exact head count, but it's 1,700 square feet, so we need to plan out and do a layout of.
How many square feet is it?
1,700,
Okay.
so it's not a huge area.
Right.
So maybe like 50 max,
Okay.
yeah. 50 people.
Okay. We'll make sure, I'm sure you have their phone number. Okay. I'll probably give you guys a call tomorrow too, because I want to go over a few things,
Okay.
just, you know, logistics things as well. But, does anybody have any questions?
So this is a full restaurant?
Correct.
And you want, you know, old fashions, things like that, so you
Mhm.
want to be able to do hard liquor,
Right,
et cetera. Yeah, not just beer and wine.
You're right.
So a full liquor license, right?
Yep.
Do you have a timeline for anything, or is this too preliminary for that yet?
We don't, we're looking to purchasing the building, so we wanted to get everything approved before we move forward with that.
Because we need to change the ordinance and include a second one, or an additional one.
Right, yeah.
Which I don't have a problem with. Just for me, I'm speaking as a trustee, I don't have an issue with, but we have to get the attorney to.
Yeah,
It should be
to
an easy
just-
one, just adjust the
It
number.
should
I
be
think,
quick, just to
yeah.
redraw,
So
just
we
to
have
change
do
the
that, though, so it's
population.
official.
Yeah, because right now, we don't have any open liquor licenses, it's based on population, so we just have to have them adjust the numbers if it's approved, you know, to be able to have the extra liquor license
Okay.
available.
I think we can give her a consensus, right? Or give
Oh,
her a consensus,
absolutely.
I mean, so this way you know where you stand with us from the village.
Yep.
I have no objections to it, I think it'd be great to have a place to eat and have another place to.
Yep.
Yeah, that's as hard to make a martini.
You're okay?
I'm good with it.
All right,
I'm all for it.
okay.
All right, good.
All right, excellent. All right, so that's considering the liquor license application, and you've already applied for that?
We submitted the application.
Yeah, it's,
Oh,
you can read that paperwork that I put on the table.
Too much paper. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so you would just be completing that. Yeah, so we can, you know, we can actually just approve the liquor license today then if you guys are all in favor. Do we have to take an official vote? Because no, we'll just vote for the ordinance.
Yeah, you need to
that
vote the
amends it.
ordinance,
Okay,
yeah.
but we're just verbally letting them know it's
But you're setting aside that liquor license for them.
for them. Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
Perfect, thank you.
all righty, you're welcome.
And then you will contact us for the next
Yes, I will give you a call tomorrow and then, we'll be in touch as far as like the next steps. But I just wanted to talk to you because I have a few questions for you.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
great. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Yes, committee reports, we're gonna go to Finance and Administration Committee, and we're going to do, partially this, we're gonna go actually to the budget later on after we come out of executive session, but for now, we're gonna do part of it. So Finance and Administration Committee, Trustee Kraus.
So, I can make a motion approving the list of bills and payroll. This is the last bill cycle. Let's close out 23-24 fiscal year. Bills, the total of $209,545.90.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call?
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
And just the last one,
Yep.
I think.
So, I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of the raffle car for the 4th of July Commission in the amount of $22,475 from Drowley Chevy for a, was it Trax?
Tracks,
The
yeah.
Trax.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, question?
Do bids all come in? Were they,
Yes.
that was the lowest? I didn't see them.
It was the lowest bid, and I think they picked it either way, but yeah, it was lowest by
Yeah.
like $5,800 or a lot of raffle tickets, it was lower than.
It was a lot, yeah, there were actually, I think 3 bids that came in, they opened, 4th of July Commission opened them up Friday night. So, this was the lowest bid by a lot. Alrighty, any other discussion? Roll call?
Kraus,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
And that's all I have for now.
Okay. Public Buildings and Properties, Parks and Recreation Committee. Trustee Kraus, you want to be the one to say there's no report?
I guess.
I could have done that too.
There's no report there.
All right. Planning, Building and Zoning Committee, Trustee Gardner.
Thank you. Consider a motion to submit a letter of non-objection to Will County Land Use Department for a special use permit for a proposed commercial solar energy facility on approximately 39.9 acres to be located south of West Indiana Avenue and east of Southwestern Avenue. The petitioner provided a presentation at the March 28th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. After review and discussion, the PZC voted unanimously to recommend not to object to the project. The petitioner is here tonight and will provide the same proposal to us.
Just give me 1 minute. Got the project plans here. Look.
Is that plugged in? We go all over.
The audiovisual kids in high school.
TVs.
It wasn't IT back then.
They gotta come wheeling in the TV on the
On the cart.
projector on the cart. I know people in this audience don't know what I'm talking about, come on.
Let's go over.
Oh, never mind.
The audio visual
Where's that AV TV?
guys are coming.
They had TVs?
They were color too, Roger, it's crazy.
Okay. Thanks for bearing with me. Hi, my name is Jordan Belknap from Turning Point Energy. I'm the Director of Development for Turning Point Energy. We're a solar energy company. We specialize in building community solar energy projects. Project we're presenting tonight is at the corner of West Indiana and Southwestern Ave. It's about 1.4 miles from Beecher to the west. So at Turning Point, we believe our projects should create economic, environmental, and community value. So we do that, we provide economic value because these are community solar projects that subscribers can sign up for and save on their electric bill. So anyone who's a customer of ComEd can sign up for a piece of the project and receive a credit on their electric bill. It takes it takes the idea of putting solar panels on your roof and kind of disassociates the physical nature of that, but allows you to participate in the renewable energy economy. These projects also add to the tax revenue of the locality. So we convert basically a new tax jurisdiction for the area of the solar project. They get taxed based on the electrical size of the project. There's a formula that the state has provided for this. So it's about a 13-fold increase over the current ag tax. Create environmental value because this is clean renewable energy. We put pollinator-friendly plantings underneath the solar array and around the perimeter. Gives a nice habitat for small birds and animals. And we do agrivoltaics on these projects, which is we actually have like sheep come and graze and maintain the vegetation. So they periodically can come to the site and do that. Another important thing, we want to create community value. So we make sure to contribute locally to charities for every project that we do in the local community. So it's one of the most rewarding parts of the job is to come around and meet people who are doing good work. And I've met Juan Hernandez and his Kicking It Back facility over there, which is pretty amazing what he's been able to do over there. So we've been talking with him, and if our project is successful, we certainly are going to make a contribution to his organization over there. So a little bit about the community engagement. As I was mentioned, so far we've been able to successfully permit 6 projects in Will County through the special use phase. Projects near Crete, Monique, Piaton, and Joliet. We are doing investment for all those projects in the local community. You know, we're targeting $500,000 of investment for charities in Illinois here, and you know, we do this on every project, so we've done this in other markets as well. So a little bit about community solar. So really, it's a business model that allows people to go solar and save on their electric bill. Not everyone has a big house with a south-facing roof that's ideal for solar. So this opens up the opportunity for people who live in low-income housing or apartments or condominiums, or just who don't have an ideal situation to put solar in their homes. It levels the playing field. People can sign up for the project. There's no upfront cost to them, and they can receive a credit on their electric bill. So the subscriber would pay the solar energy company for some of that electricity, but the credit that they're purchasing for that is greater than the amount that they're paying for the electricity. So there's a net savings. And it's just an accounting exercise. They'll see the bottom line reduced on their electric bill. So, you know, no upfront costs. It's a nice model and opens up the playing field for everyone. The project, this is the Will County GIS, the parcel, West Indiana and Southwestern Ave. There's a little Nicor, small Nicor facility right in the northwest corner, if you're looking for it. So it's a 4.99 megawatt AC project. Property owner is Daniel Light. It's the A1 district. We are proposing just under 40 acres for the solar project area. It's to the southern end of the parcel. It's over 700 feet from West Indiana. That blue line going across is a flood zone, so the project will be to the south of that flood zone. Technology is single axis trackers, so that basically means that the panels rotate slowly throughout the day. They're oriented to the east in the morning, and they just follow the sun, basically. So very slow moving. Well, at the end of the day, they rotate back, to get ready for the sun to come up for the next day. The project has a signed interconnection agreement with ComEd, so we have paid ComEd to do a study of the effect of putting power on the grid at this location. We know what the cost is to us to upgrade their infrastructure to be able to connect the facility, and it's feasible for this project. So just a little close up. This is the same image that's over there. We filed an access plan that basically runs out West Indiana with Will County. A little bit, so we do rotational sheep grazing, pollinators on the outside. We asked Will County for 2 variances associated with allowing the pollinators to propagate. So we do want to maintain, we want to mow it, when needed, and maintain the site so it's nice and orderly. But we do want the pollinators in the spring to grow a little higher than the ordinance recommends. That allows them to propagate, seed, and basically disperse through the site. So with these projects, it creates jobs. There's civil work, there's electrical work, engineering work to put these projects together. It offers electricity savings to local residents and customers of the utility. We're increasing the tax revenue for the parcel. We're reducing greenhouse gas emissions compared to, this basically replaces other more carbon intensive forms of electricity production. It increases grid resiliency because we're producing power closer to the point where it's consumed, and that actually eases the burden on the transmission system, so they're not actually trying to transmit power from great distances. The pollinator habitat I mentioned, it actually improves the soil health and reduces erosion because of the pollinator plantings and how the grass settles in. And again, it's a dual use agriculture and energy production. We are grazing with sheep and providing opportunity for a shepherd and a business for him. Where we are right now, we've done wetlands delineation, we've done the EcoCat species evaluation, the historic preservation. We've submitted we have an NRI from Will County, done a layer study, a boundary survey, and an interconnection agreement. And we've also done the AMO, which is basically an agreement with the Department of Agriculture that at the end of the project's life, the facility will be decommissioned and it will be returned back to its existing condition. So these are pretty quiet facilities. There was 4 months of activity roughly to construct them, where you are going to have people, workers, and deliveries coming to the site. But after that, there's really no long-term traffic. I mean, there's just maybe once a month for the vegetation management, maybe once a quarter for electrical inspections and maintenance. But the facility is monitored remotely, so it can be determined if there is any issue off-site, and an electrician could be dispatched to fix any issue. Doesn't require any water, sewer, or permanent parking. It's very quiet. The inverters do make a little bit of a noise, but you have to be pretty close to them to hear it. The solar panels make no noise. It's clean, renewable. There's no emissions from this type of generation. There's no site lighting needed, and this will all be done by licensed electricians to install the facility. So I'm happy to take any questions or any feedback.
All right, I'll start. So you say there's no upfront cost. Who's paying for it then? Like as far as, I mean, is
The-
it the citizens will have to eventually pay for it, or I mean?
Well, the facility owner has to pay for the cost of constructing it. And the facility generates revenue by charging the customers for the electrical production. But we are backfeeding electricity into the grid, so we get credit for that electricity from ComEd that we can transfer to the customer.
And you know what that rate is, or is there a calculation on that?
So-
Or that we'd be able to give to the, you know, to the residents?
Typically, it's gonna be a 10 to 15% savings on their electric bill.
And would they have to obviously opt into this program?
They have to opt in, yeah, sure.
And at what point in time do you do that, to where we have like an information meeting and stuff
I'd
like that?
love to do that, I'd love to do that. So we would do that, you know, closer, when we get through permitting, closer to getting towards the construction plan. We'd certainly be happy to do that.
And what's the life of the project?
So the project, we have a lease for 25 years with 3 5-year extensions. So it could be 25 to 40 years.
And so then, so you're leasing the land from?
Yes, this is a lease. We have a lease option right now. The terms would be 25-year lease.
Is there any preference for opt-in for residents?
So the,
It's a
the
limited
rule is
opt-in.
you have to be a customer of ComEd, okay? But we will certainly, we can market or have like an early adoption period for local residents. We'd be happy to do that. And we have, you know, I'd love to collaborate with you about how we would get the word out for local residents.
Roughly how many residents would be able to opt in?
So this project, you know, we're talking about probably like 1,000 households is the equivalent like energy production here. Yep.
So if there's more than 1,000 people that were to opt into it, would there be a cutoff? And what happens if
It
there's
would
not
be a
enough?
cutoff at some point because there's only,
It wouldn't be able to, the grid would be able to.
well, there's only so much it's gonna produce, so we
Right.
calculate how much it's gonna produce annually. But there are other projects too. So I think if somebody wants to sign up for this, they're gonna have the opportunity, okay? Because it actually, what happens, we end up marketing to try to make sure people sign up. Yeah.
What happens, so the size of the project, does that determine anything as far as, let's say, not very many people do sign up for it? Is the project still a go? Is there like a certain amount that you guys?
It'll be a go. What we've found, so we're in the permitting phase for projects in this area. What we have found is the projects do get subscribed because people save money and they really don't have to do any heavy lifting.
Any other questions?
Did you say it creates revenue too?
Yeah.
For the town?
Well, it creates revenue for the project owner,
Okay.
and they pass, you know, they can pass the savings on.
It's unincorporated, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna be, yeah.
It creates tax revenue for all the jurisdictions that are, you know, listed currently, the fire protection
Yeah,
district.
fire.
and- Yeah,
School.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Yep.
I will make a motion to submit a letter of non-objection to the Will County Land Use Department for a special use permit for a proposed commercial solar energy facility at approximately 39.9 acres to be located south of West Indiana Avenue and east of Southwestern Avenue.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second motion.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
and we'll get the letter ready for you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Submit it to.
Yep, submit it to Will County. I'll make sure I get you a copy.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, and that's the end of yours.
Yes. That concludes my
Alright.
report.
Public Safety Committee, Trustee Terry.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to consider a motion to waive the formal bid process for purchasing body cameras in the amount of $49,995.20 from Axon Enterprise. This purchase will be made from the current budget. The body cameras is part of the Safety Act mandate. It's a side.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a
Second.
Second. There's a motion and a second, discussion.
This is coming out of assessment, right? And then we get the grant, that'll go back in there?
This year's test.
Yeah, and then if the grant comes through, that'll go back into the assessment. Okay.
Any others? Roll call.
Kraus?
Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.
Stacy?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes. Consider a motion to waive the formal bid process to purchase a 2024 Ford Explorer from Terry's Ford in the amount of $44,705. This purchase will be made from the Police CESWA fund in the fiscal budget of 24-25.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion. Roll call.
Terry?
Yes.
Stacy?
Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.
Kraus?
Yes.
And that concludes my report.
All right. Public Works Committee, trustee Stacy.
Thank you, Mayor. The Penfield Street Improvement Project, Matt, do we have any update?
Sure. We received the Iroquois right-of-way entry permit for the railroad, which was pushed back to them. So they're in the process of getting that signed off on by the railroad and by IPC in order to start their work again. They want to get their railroad permit for their flagger and then do the surface layer on the entire project at once instead of mobilizing and then having to wait to get the railroad flagger. So they're thinking within the next 3-ish weeks they should have that secured. And as you guys have seen, some of you have seen, I'm sure, Gould Street in the 600 block is under construction right now. It's down to the stone base layer. They did all the fine tuning today. They're planning on, they were going to do the binder or the band surface tomorrow, but they've postponed that due to potential weather. So it looks like that'll be done on Wednesday. They're also going to include that into the final surface layer later on, so there are no, so everything's kind of more seamless. It's all made out of the same mixture and out of the same batch and everything like that. So it's kind of on hold for now. I did do a change order on site today. We found a sinkhole out in front of Kicking It Back at one of the existing storm drains that wasn't up for reconstruction, but they're gonna tear both of them out. There's 2 of them right next to each other. One's failed. They're gonna combine the 2 and go at it at that rate. So they're planning on doing that work later this week. There's also a sinkhole on the new bridge, which was caused by an electrical issue from the electrical contractor. So if anybody sees a barricade there, there is a sinkhole right along the new curb line there, but that's going to be fixed, and they're going to open up the entire area and make sure that what specifically settled, that it all gets raised back up properly so nothing continues to settle in the future. So other than that, they're just waiting on the railroad, really. So.
All right, I'd like to consider a motion to waive the formal bid process to purchase a John Deere Z960M Z-Track mower. This purchase will be from budget 24-25 budget in the amount of $14,093.31.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion. Roll call.
Kraus?
Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.
Stacy?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to consider a motion to accept the estimate from Superior Pump Services in the amount of $86,026 to replace the 2 broken gearboxes and bearings at the oxidation ditch in the sewer plant. The aeration discs and oxidation ditch are a vital part of the overall health of the plant. There are 4 gearboxes and most of the bearings are 30+ years old. This would be to replace 2 of the 4 that are in service. So I would like to make a motion to accept the estimate from Superior Pump Services in the amount of $86,026 to replace the 2 broken gearboxes and bearings and at the oxidation ditch at the sewer plant.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
Due about 24, 25. Yeah.
There's a motion and a second, discussion? Roll call?
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Kraus,
Yes.
That concludes my report.
I was just gonna keep marching right on. Economic Development Community Relations Committee, we have no trustee in charge at the moment. The only thing we were going to update is the concert series, and I think, didn't we do like an update at the last meeting? Do we have anything new to report? Yeah, I don't think so. I think we've got our dates ironed down. I know we've got food for at least 3 of those dates. We're working on the 4th.
Yeah, we have, Happy Life Ranch is gonna be at the June 8th one and the September 7th one. The one in July is obviously the 4th of July, and I'm working on food for August. I think it's gonna be a fundraiser for one of the high school sports teams. I should find out this week, meet with the coach tomorrow, so I'll get that figured out. The June 8th menu is gonna be Italian sausage, Italian beef and sausage combo, grilled cheese and fries. September, the menu will be Maxwell Street Polish, burgers, chili, and grilled cheese and fries. And then, obviously, they'll have, alcohol served down there, and hot water and stuff on all those days.
Alrighty, sounds good. Any old business to come before the board? Okay, we need a motion to adjourn into executive session after a short recess to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of personnel. And after we do this, we will come out of executive session, we'll go back on camera, and then we will discuss the budget. Would someone like to make the motion to adjourn into executive session?
Make a motion to go into executive session to discuss appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of personnel.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second, roll call?
Kraus,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Alrighty,